Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. So last time we began our Cal playthrough and we are excitedly moving on to the next year. I'm actually already at the end of the year, but because I'm an idiot I forgot to record an intro, so you're about to go back in time. Goodbye! You're pulling weeds from the garden beds when you see Cal scurry past you, moving with a purpose. He doesn't even stop to say hello before he disappears into a barn. Follow him. You slip into the barn behind Cal. He's so absorbed in whatever's in that broken storage box that he doesn't hear you. You can do it, he whispers. Come on, go, go, go! You creep forward, but the barn door creaks closed behind you, and Cal jumps. Yabby, he says, moving between you and the box. What do you need? What's in the box? Cal clenches his fists. Nothing, it's nothing. Whatever Cal is going to say next is interrupted by a chirping noise from the box. Cal gasps and whirls around, and both of you rush forward to look. Inside the box is a pink caterpillar-like creature about the length of your arm, blinking up at you with big, multifaceted eyes. Its mouth parts wave at you and make a clicking, chirping noise. It's hatched, Cal says. Hey, little baby, welcome to the world. What is it? Don't know, Cal says. I looked it up on the Surveyor archives, but nobody's ever found anything like it before. It's true, you have no idea what this creature is. You knew about this thing? Yeah, it showed up in one of the first shipments of mushwood, he says, rubbing its little nose. Just curled up in a little cocoon. It looked like a dried up leaf, but warm. I didn't want to just throw it away, in case whatever was inside it was still living. And no one was using this busted up storage box, so... Oh my goodness, look how cute it is! Cal puts the small creature on his shoulder. What are you, little buddy? Cal asks. You look like a big old caterpillar, but cuter. The creature yawns, showing off circular rows of tiny, even teeth. It nestles against Cal's neck as he scritches it under the chin. Maybe we call you a dillypillar? He touches one of its 6 white-capped feet. Socks. Socks the dillypillar. I hope nobody finds out. Same here, Cal says. Do you remember Mrs. Manners, the mouse we found on the stratospheric? The grown-ups wouldn't let us keep her. He frowns. I wonder what happened to her in engineering. Maybe Tang knows. Oh no, I don't think Miss Manners had a good time. I have to hide her, Cal says, looking around. Think she'll be okay if I keep her in this broken storage box? He places socks gently into the box and closes the lid. Go back to sleep, little buggy wuggy, he croons. Sleep tight. Oh, we met Socks, and she's so cute! Oh, want to hear a fun nature fact? You recently overheard the children learning how to count by studying hop-eyes. Hop-eyes have 1 foot and 2 tail forks and 3 stomachs and 4 eyes. And if you see 5 of them together, that's lucky, Cal laughs, finishing the mnemonic with you. Wait, how did they find out that hop-eyes have 3 stomachs? I don't want to know. Yeah, it's probably better that we don't. Anyway, speaking of stomachs, want a bobber fruit? Food! Cal grabs the fruit out of your hands, then remembers his manners. He gives you a big hug. Thanks, Yabby. I'm starving. How did you know? Wait, can I already tell you another nature fact? I have 2 for you. You tell him about the time Tang brought a skunk bug for show and tell in biology, and it got scared and made the worst, most smelliest, grossest stink you've ever smelled, and everyone thought Tang had farted. Then Professor Hal had to clear out the whole room, and it took weeks to get the smell out of the beanbags, and it was so gross. But also kinda neat, how such a tiny bug could make the whole room of kids run away. Cal laughs. I remember that, Yabby. Except the way I heard it, it wasn't Tang, it was you. What? No, I would never do something stupid like that. Never, never, never. It's not always shoveling. You sometimes get to control the huge robotic vehicle that has been fitted with a plow. The robo-plow is massive and intimidating and can easily grind through rocks or even trees, but the colony only has 1, so you have to be very careful when you give it instructions. You're tasked with taking a bunch of rocks out of a field and given the robo-plow to do it. Cal loads its software up on its holopalm, and there is a lot going on there. All these digital gauges and a long list of possible subroutines with parameters to enter. Yabby, he says, nervously poking at the interface. Do you want to try doing this? I'll control the robo-plow. No, not this one. It's always this one. Why? Easy peasy. You give it the dimensions of the field you're plowing, the desired depth, and add a subroutine for rock removal, indicating the general size of rocks. The machine whirs and adjusts its digging tools and then sets to work. You get the field cleared in record time, and you and Cal can enjoy a half day off. Heck yeah, hanging out with my buddy. You're helping your mom repair the garden fence when you see Cal slip away into the barn carrying a blanket. You excuse yourself and follow him. Does he still have that weird pet bug? He does, in fact, still have that weird pet bug. Oh, that was answered quickly. Cal looks up at you and smiles, cradling Socks in his arms and rocking her back and forth. The little nubs on her butt seem like they're getting longer. She must be growing. I made her a little bed in that trunk over there, he says. She mostly just likes to be curled up in the dark. She sleeps a lot. Socks chirps, and Cal sits on the floor, letting her curl up in his lap. I've been coming in early every morning and staying late every day so she could play in the sun, he exclaims. That's when she's most active, but her favorite thing is laying in my lap for belly rubs. He tickles her soft tummy. Isn't that right, Socks? Who's a good dillypillar? You are! You are! Socks trills in delight. Do you want to feed her? Cal asks. I've collected a bunch of leaves for her. Here, take one. You kneel down beside them and take one of the leaves. Socks trundles from Cal's lap into your cupped hands and gingerly holds the leaf between her two front paws. She's like a tiny dinosaur caterpillar. Munch, munch, munch. Ouch! Socks nips at your finger. Her teeth are really, really sharp. I'm gonna play it cool. You pretend like it doesn't hurt, but it super does hurt. You could barely keep yourself from crying as Socks munches happily at the rest of the leaf. When she's done, Cal puts her gently back in the box. Then he notices your hand and gasps, Yabby, you're hurt! Cal looks over your finger, which is bleeding sluggishly from the shallow puncture wounds. I learned first aid from my mom, he says. Let's wrap it and tell people you banged it on the door, okay? He bites his lip. If people think she's dangerous, they'll take her away. She's not dangerous. It was just an accident. Cal brushes his hand over the loose dirt and straw on the barn floor. My mom says the aliens here are dangerous, he mutters. I asked, in theory, if I found an alien, and could I keep it as a pet? But she said I can't, even if it's a nice alien, because of diseases and stuff. He sighs. Socks isn't sick, he insists, and she doesn't mean to hurt anybody. The other animals probably don't either. I wonder what I have to do to unlock the tending to animals. I think I have to find an animal, right? Because I need to raise my animals for when the famine starts. I could probably do that by going outside. You spot Cal heading towards the barns at the far end of the farm. You spot Cal heading towards the barns at the far end of the farms. Oh, I can't read. You spot Cal heading towards the barns at the far end of the farms. Hiya, Yabby, he waves. Hey, what's up? Just heading over to the barn, Cal says. I finished before everyone else today, so I told everyone I'm gonna clean it. No one wants to get roped into helping, so it'll just be me and Socks. You should come with. Cal whistles as you enter the barn, and the chest where Socks sleeps starts to rattle. He laughs and pops the lid, hefting Socks up into his arms. Hey, girl, he coos. Time to get some forbidden daytime zoomies out. You and Cal play with Socks for a little while, chasing her around the barn. She chitters and stomps her stubby little legs, clearly enjoying the attention. I have a little while before I have to get back to work, Cal says. What should we do? Let's teach Socks a new trick. Oh yeah, Cal agrees. I've been working on getting her to follow directions lately. That's a great idea. You spend about a half hour teaching Socks how to shake a paw. There are a lot of paws to choose from, and she seems to delight in giving you a different one each time. You can't help but think that working with her like this might come in handy in the future. Ooh, maybe. Alright, let's see. What would get us animals? I think self-defense does, but not much. Yeah, it's only one animals at a time. Maybe we can do some of that, but I think for now, let's explore and see if we could get some animals that way. Oh! I've tried to salvage the farmland instead of trying to plant something, and it says you pull up a handful of wrinkly tubers. They're probably supposed to be potatoes, eventually, or maybe yams. It's hard to tell. You dig around a little longer, but it's all pretty picked over. I got colony food for that! Oh, that's good! It's Valentine's Day! Saint Valentine's Day. Deece and Cal wander over to hear more. Back on Earth, Mars explains, it was a day when everybody had to give their best friend a gift, especially sweets. And then you put the sweets under your pillow and it makes you dream about who you're going to marry. And there are decorations of hearts and arrows and pigs. Cal laughs. Pigs? We don't even have pigs here. Before Mars can answer, Deece snorts. This is dumb. Marzipan just made it up to get free candy. He rolls his eyes and walks away. As he leaves, Mars shouts at his back. Well, nobody was going to pick you anyway. You stink. I know who I'm picking. is standing on top of a bluff, carefully pouring out a bucket of water on the dirt of one side. He's covered in mud. "Hey, check out my mudslide," he exclaims. He grabs a piece of sheet metal and slides down the dirt pile like he's riding a surfboard. Mud goes everywhere. He jogs back up and hands you the sheet of metal. "You try now." "Okay." You make it down without bailing, but get mud splattered all over your legs. It is pretty fun though, like a hoverboard, but crunchier. "Want to be best friends forever?" He replies, scuffing the toe in the dirt. "I guess so. I lost my old best friend, so yeah, okay. Want to try the mudslide again?" You spend another hour on the mudslide until you're both thoroughly covered from head to toe. You couldn't be happier. Yay! I mean, I'm the reason that Tammy's not here to be your best friend, but yay! I got your dinner. I'm so sorry. Honey, I'm sorry. It's hot today. You've been moving wheelbarrows of dirt from one greenhouse to the other. Inside the greenhouses, it's nice and cool with mist spraying down from the ceiling at regular intervals. Outside, the twin blazing balls of fire in the sky are unrelenting. The greenhouses are so far apart, one at the top of a steep hill. The track you've been walking between them hazes in the heat. Take a break, or work hard, or push through. We cannot push through. We do not have enough toughness. Oh, we're so close, though. We'll just work hard. Blinded by the sweat in your eyes, you push the wheelbarrow up the hill again and again. It feels good to work hard. At first. Then your head starts to pound and you feel like you're going to keel over. You bump into your parents. Your mom takes one look at you and rolls her eyes. "What were you thinking? Look at you. Drink some water. Hydrate." She pushes her canteen into your hands and doesn't stop staring until you take a drink. Your dad looks concerned. You feel sheepish. "It's just a little heat stroke." "Only a little bit. I was only mildly hallucinating." "Ooh!" You bring your mushwood samples into the lab. You're going to study these and revolutionize the use of mushwood lumber. Maybe. Study this mushwood! You examine the mushwood under a microscope and take notes on its cellular structure. Part of the reason it needs to be harvested and wet is because the cells get so saturated that they lose structural integrity and turn to, well, mush during glow. Studying the exact processes by which the cells take water leads to a breakthrough. It might be possible to hack the process and stop the mushwood trees from taking on too much water during wet. If they don't take on as much water, they won't take as long to dry. You should be able to develop a spray that the loggers can apply to the fruiting body of the mushwood, the part that sticks out above the ground, too close to its pores. Reducing negative pressure in the body should stop it from pulling so much water from the mycelial network underground. This is great. Logging will be much more efficient now. Also, that's another way to get colony defense. Cal! You catch Cal at the gate to the gardens. He's carrying a big bucket of rocks. "Hi, Abby," he exclaims. "Oh, I'm supposed to tell you there's a new park near geoponics now," Cal says. "We can run around all we want and nobody will say we're trampling the fields. You should come play there sometime." "I will." Now I can relax there and get more friendship with Cal. This month your mom has you and Cal digging out rice paddies. You put on mud waders that are way too big for you and stumble into the soggy muck. Cal starts nerding out about mud, as he does. "The ground is so soggy because the lower gravity means the water takes longer to seep down," he exclaims, pulling a big clod of mud out of the ground and slopping it into the hover lift. "At least when it's raining you don't have to use wheelbarrows." "Everything is so swampy and warm on Vertumna, not like the dry recycled air of the stratospheric. The wet ground makes the roots from our earth plants rot easier, so we need a ton of mush tree mulch, or this kind of puffy lava rock kind of thing." He stops and rubs his face, smearing mud across his cheek. "Maybe we could do that next. I like smashing it up into tiny bits with a hammer." It's nice to be outside with Cal. The tropical rain is never too cold, and Cal is great company. Aw, he is. "Just think about all the cool stuff that's out here," Cal exclaims. "Who else gets to shape the planet and provide food for the colony? No one, that's who. This job is the best." He keeps on digging and nattering on about cool bugs he finds in the mud. You goof off a little bit and have your fun. Your antics eventually lead to you slipping, and suddenly you're up to your armpits in the mud and laughing as it oozes down into your oversized waders. Aww, that's such a cute photo. Alright, and now we can relax in the park. We don't have any pets yet, but maybe we will eventually. You and Cal walk through the park, a special place set aside for growing ornamental plants from Earth. It was grown from a precious seed bank preserved for over 20 years aboard the stratospheric before your mother started planting them here on Vertumna. Almost nothing here is grown for food, though many of them are technically edible. "It's so green here," Cal says, stopping to smell a bush of fist-sized red flowers with velvety petals. "Wow, they smell so sweet. My mom worked really hard on this." Your mom brought these flower seeds here from Earth and somehow found the time to cultivate them here, even though there was so much work to do on the farm. It just goes to show that there's a lot about your mom that you still don't know. It's so peaceful. Cal breathes deep, a funny smile on his face. It really is. This is one of my favorite places in the whole colony. You can really feel the love in every plant. One pretty white flower in particular is flourishing here, the Astrania, your mother's favorite. Seems to be growing faster than even the native plants do, covering the paths and bluffs with tiny white stars. You practically have to push clumps of it aside in some places just to make sure you don't crush any. Good thing it's so beautiful. Aw, that was nice. Huh? Oh no! I forgot about Tonin! Oops! Well, the whole family's dead. That might have been my fault. The geoponics domes are a comforting beacon of light during glow. While everything else is throwing off an unsettlingly alien light, the domes are stable, dependable, human. You like spending time in them, tending to the seedlings that will be transplanted into the fields and pollen. I'm going to engineering. Don't worry, I got you, Hal. Oh yeah, we got it. I saved Professor Hal's life! Thank goodness. At least one person didn't die in my playthrough, from carelessness or otherwise. Alright, we'll talk about another year done. That was lots of fun. I loved getting to meet Socks. They're so cute. And I love all of the Cal interactions. I don't know why. I think just like out of all of the characters so far, his just has the most cozy vibe. I think it's just because he's such a down-to-earth character. And I know that like he does get, you know, some pretty extreme views later on. I remember the stuff he said about like, oh, well, if the aliens want to kill you, you must have done something wrong and stuff like that. But like, right now, it's like, it's just so sweet, and it sucks that the heliopause is going to show up later and ruin the sweetness of everything. But we are going to keep on trekking. We're going to try and make sure we have enough food so our mom will live in this playthrough, which will be perfect since it's the geophonics playthrough, so we'll spend a lot of time with her. We're going to also try and keep an eye on Deese. We're going to explore some more and see if we can meet Sim. We have a bunch of stuff to do for this playthrough. But for now, I'm going to say thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourselves, take care of your pet dillypillar, and have a good day.